Lebo Diseko is in Minneapolis for us to cover this trial. Lebo, just tell us what's going to happen today.
Well, Sally, we expect the opening arguments to start at around 9 a.m. local time, and that's when the two sides, lawyers from each side, will basically set out their case. And as Aleem explained in his report there, we expect that for both sides it will centre around what actually caused George Floyd's death. So for the prosecution, they will be trying to show that it was Derek Chauvin's actions that caused George Floyd's death, and they will be relying quite heavily on things like video from the time, body cam footage, and also bystander video as well. For the defence, they will be trying to show medical evidence that George Floyd had underlying health conditions, and also things like possible drug use may have been at play. And in terms of the tactics, the defence argue that this was a recognised and trained for procedure that their client carried out, and that he wasn't negligent in what he did.
And this trial will be watched, won't it, right across the United States?
And in fact around the world. And it's so interesting. I think that people's thoughts on this very much depend on their experiences. And when I've been speaking to people here in Minneapolis, for many of them, particularly protesters and people at the vigil that I went to earlier, George Floyd's family held a vigil. This is about more than George Floyd himself. It's about all of the other cases which they perceive police were not held to account for what they see as brutality against black people.
And in terms of change, what are they calling for?
Well, I think there is a broad spectrum of things, but certainly for George Floyd's family, what they said over and over again is they would like to see accountability. One of George Floyd's brothers was saying, when we as American citizens do things that are wrong, we are held to account. Why is it different for people in uniform?
All right, Lebo, thank you. Lebo Diseko there in Minneapolis for us, and we'll keep across all the developments as they take place, the trial beginning later today.